Hello everyone, good morning.
Hi, Ankit. Good
Good morning,
morning.
Ankit. Good morning.
I think we can get started. Let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, great. So today we are going to learn Tableau. Okay. So I hope all of you have installed. If not installed, that is fine. You can install it after the session and do your practice. Okay. So this is how your Tableau looks like when you open. Okay. These are the existing workbooks that I have created, but you can just ignore it. If you are using for the first time, this will be empty. Okay. And there are Tableau training videos also. So if you click here, it will take you to the Tableau website and you can watch all the training videos. It is from starting from basic till advanced. So they are small 1 minute, 2 minutes videos and covered all the topics almost. Okay. Yeah. So this is how your Tableau look like. So for example, if you want to analyze any data in an Excel or database, you can then connect to the your data source, right? So it all starts with the data source in Tableau or any BI tool, right? What data you want to read, and then we can do analysis on top of it. So for example, there are some options, right? Excel, text file, JSON, PDF file, and different servers, like you can connect to the Redshift, Microsoft SQL Server, and we have lot of options, right? Almost all the databases are there. So you can just search, let's say you want to connect to Oracle, you can just connect to Oracle, right? So almost all the options are there. All the cloud databases also, Athena and Spark SQL, anywhere you can click and connect to the database and start working on it. Okay. So for example, let's see Microsoft Excel. So if I click on Microsoft Excel, it will give me a pop-up. I can just choose a file. Let's say I'm choosing my Superstore dataset. Okay. So I chose the Superstore dataset and it is showing me both the sheets. So in my Superstore dataset, I have two sheets, right? Orders and returns. So it is showing me both. So let me drag and drop on the pane. This is my data source pane where I can bring my dataset, right? And so it is showing me orders and all the columns here. If you see, all the columns are visible. These are the columns in our table, right? That we have been working. Okay. So there you can see the data. Whatever data you want to have a look, that what data looks like, right? So you can have a look. Now, other thing is, if you see, you can even go here, and rename the column name. If you want to rename the column name, you can do bunch of things from here. Okay. So you can rename a column name. Also, what you can do, if you see, there are the data types as well, right? There are different data types. ABC means it's a varchar type, and if you want to change at this point, you want to change here. Hash means number. This calendar means it is a date data type. So what Tableau does, when you import the data, it will automatically identify what will be the data type. In SQL, we have to define the table and define the data types. But in Tableau, it will automatically identify that what is the data type of this column based on what data it has, right? If you think that the data type is not correct, you can always change it, right? So there is no issue from that point of view. You can always change the data type. Okay. Another important thing here is filters. Okay. So let's say you have a big data set and you are focused on only on some particular category or segment. So let's say um, you are only concerned about particular category. So we have different categories. You are the category manager for furniture and you want to analyze only furniture data. So what you can do, you can just go here, add and category. Okay. And then you can say only furniture. Okay. So it will just filter data on furniture, right? Where category equal to furniture in equal terms, and you will have only furniture data for this data. So at the source only we filtered data. Okay. There are other ways of filtering only also, but in your case, if you want only furniture category, you are not concerned at all. So you can just filter at the source. It will be better for the performance because in the Tableau memory, only the furniture data will come. So it will be faster. Okay. Another thing you hear is connection, live or extract. Live means it is always, so I have given the Excel file. So whatever operation I will do, it will be always directly reading from the Excel, right? So if you make any changes in your Excel, it will be reflected here immediately without doing anything because it is a live connection. It is directly reading from your local system, or in case it is a database, it will directly read from your database every time. Okay. But this might be slow, right? Because every time it has to go to your local system, or every time it has to go to the database in case of database, right? And bring the data, right? So it might be slow. Another option is extract. Extract means it will take all the data and bring into the Tableau memory. Now this will be faster because everything is in Tableau memory. It doesn't have to go anywhere, right? Outside Tableau, and the operations, filters, whatever you do, it will be very fast. Okay. So always it is advisable to use extract, and you can always schedule extract, let's say daily. So what will happen? Daily it will extract data and bring the new data, right? So in that way you can, so let's say whatever table you are using, it gets refreshed every day at 4 o'clock. So what you can do, at 5 o'clock you can schedule the extract. So as soon as the table is uploaded or refreshed, this tableau will also be refreshed. Okay. So that you can do. Now this is a book, Tableau book. I'm going to save it. Okay. Now there are two options, TWB and TWBX. The difference is in TWB, it doesn't contain data. It is just a layout of whatever you have built on Tableau. Only that much. It won't have data. So if I create a TWB file and share with anyone else, I will have to give the data source as well. Otherwise, it is just a skeleton. There is no data in that. If you want to include data in the file, you will choose TWBX file. Okay. So in TWBX file, you will have data as well. So if I share the TWBX file, I will share it with the data. Okay. So I'm going to create TWBX file for now. It will ask you to create extract. I'm saying create extract. Okay. So this is about our first screen, the data source, right? Also, what we can do, like we have different kinds of joins, right? So I can double click here and create a join also. So for example, I have returns data, right? I want to join it with others data. So you can union also, but if you want to join it, you put it here parallel to it, and then it will ask you want inner join, left join, whatever, right? So we will do left join so that all the data will come. We know if I do inner join, only the return order will come, but I want everything, so I will do left join. Now it will also ask on what column you want to join, right? So I will say I want to join on order ID. And from returns data set also order ID, right? So this is done now. I'll just close it. And if you see, we have the columns from the return data set as well, order ID and return reason, right? So wherever it is not present, it will be null. And wherever it is there, it will be there. It is just like we have done left join, right? In SQL. It is exactly same. If I do inner join, only the common records will come. Okay. Any doubts so far? Is it clear? The filters and the joins? You can specify any kind of join, left join, right join, full outer join, anything. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, it's clear, Ankit.
Okay. Great. So now Now I will later I will connect with SQL Server also and show you. But now let's move ahead with the Excel file. Okay. Now we can go to the sheet. Sheet is where we can create our visualization, right? Tableau is a visualization tool where you can create charts, views, dashboards, and share with the business stakeholders or other people, right? So I'll go to the sheet. So this is all about data, whatever I can do in the data pane. Okay, I will go to the sheet now. Okay, so this is your sheet. This is where you will create all your charts or whatever analysis you want to do, you can do here. Okay, if you look at here in the left hand side, right? So in the left hand side, it is showing you all the, so we have orders data set, we have returns data set, right? So it is showing separately. Now on the top hand side and their bottom, there are two section here. You see there is a line, fine line, and below that there is one section and above. So here you see all the dimensions. So what Tableau does, Tableau will identify which columns are dimension and which are measures. Again, what are dimensions? Dimension are attribute like category, city, country. What are measures? Measures are all the numeric values where we can aggregate it, right? So if I go here, it is showing discount, profit, quantity, sales. So these are all measures. So it will just separate out because it is of very importance in Tableau to separate out measures and dimension. We will get to know. But what Tableau does, Tableau automatically will identify, right? Even though if you see customer ID is there, right? It is an ID, but it still identifies it as it is a dimension, right? So there are some internal intelligence in Tableau to identify which can be the attributes, which can be dimension, and which can be measures. Again, for returns, I have two columns, right? Both are dimensions, so there is no measure value for return, so it is not coming, right? So that is it, right? So it will identify dimension and measure separately. Also, if you want to check just the count of data set, you can use this. I'll show you how to use it. Okay. But initially, the main thing here is Tableau will identify which are dimension. It will put dimension all together. Okay. Data set by data set. And then here it will show all the measures data set by data set. So for orders, we have 4 measures: discount, profit, quantity, sales. Okay. Now, how do you create chart? Now for the chart, you need to, let's say you want to see the sales, right? So it is very simple. You can just drag and drop it here, or you can drop here also, rows or columns. Okay. So I will just drop on the canvas. So if I drop it, you see it is showing sum of sales 742,000, right? So it is similar to, if I say select sum of sales from orders. So this is my sum of sales, right? I think I have put that filter. I'll just remove the filter. Okay. Category, remove. Okay. Okay. So you see 22297,201 and 22297,201. It is just rounding off, but it is the same thing. So basically, internally also what happens when you do any drag and drop or something, Tableau internally dynamically will create SQL query and run that and return the result. Okay, so whatever is happening in Tableau in the front end, in the back end, all the SQLs are running. So if you can understand how it is creating SQL, it becomes very easy to use Tableau. Okay. Now here, if you see by default, it is just showing a text, right? If you can go here, show me, and show me will show you what all charts can be created on this data. So we have just sum of sales, so I can create a bar chart. So if I just click on it, it is showing me bar chart, right? So it is in the columns. I can put it into the rows as well. So this is a one row and this is my bar chart, right? So simply it is giving me full sum of sales, nothing else. I just dragged and dropped sales and created a bar chart. It shows me sum of sales, as simple as that. Now let's say I want to see category wise sales. So basically what I'm saying, I want category sum of sales group by category, right? I want to create a chart of sales by category. So what I need to do, I need to just drag category to columns, or again I can drag here as well, anywhere. So I will just create a column. So this is a column basically, what here, right? And these are rows, right? So there are 3 columns, you see, for category, each category: furniture, office supplies, and technology. And it is sum of sales for each one of them. So if you see, for office supplies, it is 719047. Office supplies 719047, right? So it is, so now why it is of importance, measures and dimension? Because dimension will show as dimension on the chart. It will not be aggregated thing. But measures, when you drag and drop, they will automatically be aggregated. So it will be sum of sales by default. Okay, so any measures you drag and drop, it will come as an aggregated value. Now instead of sum, you want anything else, you can just change sum, average, median, count, distinct, maximum, minimum, variance, standard deviation. All the options are there. So if I do average, it will give me average. Okay, it is similar to, instead of sum, I am doing average here, right? So it is exactly this query is running in the backend. Okay, I hope this is clear so far. Also, it will show you, if you look at the bottom, it is showing you 3 marks. Okay, so it is showing you basically there are 3 data points, right? In this chart, how many data points are there? 3 data points for each category, average sales. This is nothing but number of rows you are getting in your SQL. In your SQL, you are getting 3 rows. It means it says there are 3 marks. Okay. Now you can add more things here. So for example, you are saying average of sales. You want to see average of profit or sum of profit as well. So you can just drag and drop here, right? So you created in the rows, right? So 2 rows are created. So 1 row for average sales, 1 for profit. So it is sum of profit, it is average of sales, right? So there are 2 charts created and separate rows. Now let's say you want to change, you want to bring category to rows and average sales and sum of profit to columns, right? So one thing is you can manually bring it here and there, but there is this reverse option. If you see, it says swap rows and columns. So what will happen? Rows will become columns and column will become rows. So I'll just click here. And now if you see, there's a row for each of this category, right? Furniture, office supply, technology, and we have 2 columns now. This is average sales and this is sum of profit. Okay. I hope this makes sense. Okay, let me just remove this for now and change it to sum and change it again. Okay. Now, if you see here, some important things. First of all, there are 2 main points here, filters and marks. Okay, what are filters? Filters are like, you put a where condition in your, for dimension, you put a where condition, right, in your SQL. So for example, if you say where category equal to furniture, what you are doing, you are putting a row level filter. It will filter all the data of furniture and then you give it sum of sales, right? Right, it is giving sum of sales. So again, if I want to put any filter, I can just drag category, right, filter, and I can choose. So I want only furniture, okay, and this will be applied. So only furniture category is coming. Okay, so let me put some other filter. Let me put region equal to east. Okay, so I will change this now. I will put a region filter and I will say east. So it is showing me only east sales, right? Now, if you drag any dimension, it will be like this only. It will show you all the values. So for example, if I go to the segment and drag and drop on the filter and say corporate, okay. So now what is happening? This is like an AND filter. So whatever filters you are adding, it is all AND condition. So it should satisfy that region should be east and segment should be corporate, right? So it is like where region equal to east and segment equal to corporate. So you see office supplies is 66474. Office supplies is 66475. It is rounding off again. Okay. So you can put multiple filters. Now what happens when you drag a measure, right? Let's drag a measure. So let's take quantity. So if you see in filters also, it is bringing me the sum of quantity, right? It is aggregating and using it in the filter, right? So now what you want to filter based on some average. Let's say I want to filter on sum of quantity, right? Then I will put what 600, 2000. I can put a range of value that I want between this and this. So it is giving me full range that the sum of quantities is starting from 600 till here, right? Now if I have to do this in SQL, how I will do? It is equivalent to what operation in SQL? Can someone tell me?
Having
Yeah.
clause.
Right. It is a having clause, right? So now tell me one thing. In having clause, how it works? Having clause, having works as per group by what you have in group by, right? Isn't it? Greater than 3. Right. So your having works as per the group by, right? Whatever you do on group by, as per that it will check having sum of quantity is greater than 3. So basically it will group your data on category and do a sum of quantity after all this filter and give you is greater than 3. Similarly, here whatever dimension you have chosen on your view, based on that this sum of quantity will happen. Okay. Are you guys getting it?
yes.
Okay, so this having will change as per what you are changing here in your. So currently what is happening, I am saying that I have a view of category only. Now sum of quantity should be between this and this after all this filter. Okay, so if you see nothing is coming, so I am saying it should be between 1000 and 1200 sum of quantity. Nothing is there. Why? I will show you why. So I will just do sum of quantity, right, as UTY, and we'll say order by if you see what are the quantities 2035 723 600, and what is my filter between 1000 and 1200? There is nothing between 1000 and 1200, right? There is nothing there because category is the only column, and I put these two filters. After that, these are the values of sum of quantity, right? So if I put this filter 1000 and 1200, basically I'm saying having sum of quantity between 1000 and 1200. Okay, so this is not going to return anything, right? Nothing is there. So basically I'll just remove this filter for now. Okay, and if I change my filter again, okay, I will say between 0 to 1000. So let me say 100 to 1000. So now these two are coming, right? Furniture and technology are coming. Now let's say I am taking subcategory here in the view, right? So see, more data points are coming. How many? 11 marks are coming. It is like I am saying group by category, subcategory, right? Let me take subcategory here. And then I'm saying having sum of quantity between 100 and 1000. That's what I have done, right? So now it will group on category and subcategory, right? Group by on category, subcategory, and then get the sum of quantity. So granularity of data is at category and subcategory. right? If you see 11 marks are coming, 11 rows are coming, right? And that's why it is showing 11 marks, right? So that's why again emphasis on why it is important to understand what are dimension and measures, because dimension and measures will behave completely differently in Tableau, right? Whenever you are dragging anywhere dimension, it will be as it is. Whenever you are dragging measure, it will be always a aggregated value. It can be, and by default it is sum. You can change it to sum, average, anything, right? I hope this filter thing is clear. Okay, so I'll just remove everything for now to keep it simple. Also, one more thing is in the filters, right? I have put it a filter region equal to east, right? I can again add it and change it. Also, what I can do, I can just click here and say show filter. Okay, so if I do a show filter, it will start showing here on the right side, right? And you can just play with it, change it, whatever you want, right? So you don't have to change the filter every time from here. Just bring it here on the view and change it. It will work accordingly. If you want to select all. Also, this is like a checkbox, right? You can change the look and feel of this filter, the type of filter. So you can say, I want multiple values drop down. So it is showing all now. I can just drop down and do this, and that's it, right? So I can change how this look, right? You can have a single value drop down, right? So you can just choose one value then, not multiple values. Okay. So it depends which kind of filter you want to put. You can just change it. Okay. You can have a radio button as well. So it will just, you can just choose one and it will change. You can select all as well. Okay. So I'll just change it to multiple values drop down. Okay. I hope this is clear. Okay. And then whatever filters you have, for all the filters you can add here. So if I have, let's say, city filter, I can just select all, do okay, and then do show filter. It will show here. So the problem with this default filter is there are multiple values. It will come like this and it will take all the space. Instead of that, you can just go and make it multiple values drop down. Now you can click here and choose whatever you want, right? So this is about filters. I'll just remove the filter for now. Okay. So now if you see, we have category, subcategory, and sum of sales. Let me remove category for now again. And we have all the subcategories. Okay. Now let's move on to this marks section. This is very important marks section. If you see, there are 5 kind of marks. Okay. So we will discuss label and tooltip first, and then we will move on to these 3 marks type. So label is what? Label is what you want to see on top of every bar chart or whatever chart you are creating. Okay. On every marks on top you want to see. So for example, you see, you don't know exactly what is the sales for accessories, right? By looking at the chart. So what you can do, you can just put it on the label. So also what we can do, I'm pressing control and dragging this sum of sales. So it will create a copy of this field and I can use it anywhere else as well. So I will put it on label. So if you see, I am seeing the exact value. Or you can just directly again go to the sales and put it on label, right? So it is showing you the exact value on the label, basically on top of the each marks, right? It is good, useful, correct? I want to see the exact value, I can put on top. Also, another option is you just click on the label, right? Go to the text. Label, not showing anything. Let me put label, sorry. And click on label. I'm not able to, okay. So what I can do, I can click here on the text, come here and insert value as well, right? So if I just remove it, sum of sales, so I can say insert and sum of sales. So this is the only measure I have. So it is showing that. So sum of sales. Moreover, you can add any text also. So you can say total sales is this. Okay, so it starts showing like that. Total sales is this. It is not looking good, but just I'm telling you that you can change any text here. Whatever text you want to put, you can put. You want to put some field, you can just come here and insert whatever field you can add. It will come here, all the options, and you can change the font also here. Font size, whatever you want, right? You can make it bold, right? So it will be bold. Okay. Now another thing is you can just click here and say format. Now in format, it will also show you that how you want to show the numbers. So for numbers are coming like default, automatic, right? What you can do, you can change it to currency. Okay. So you will say United States. So it starts showing you dollar, right? You can even go to the custom and you can specify your format. Okay. In the number custom, again, you have multiple options that how many decimal places. So I don't want to show any decimal places. I can just make it 0. It is 0. Okay. You want to put some prefix. Let's say you want to put dollar as prefix. So it starts showing as dollar, right? So all these things you can change going to the format and change it, right? Alignment also you can just change it, anything like if you want horizontal in a between, anything you can do. Okay. So it is now, so this is like vertical. So you want to show on the bottom, you want to show on the top, you want to show in the middle. If you do in middle, it will start coming within the charts. Okay. So this format and all you can explore it. Okay. So you can change the format or how this text look like. So I'll just go here and remove total sales. It is not looking so good. Okay. So this is your label that you put anything, it will start showing on top of the bar or top of the whatever your chart is. Now this is tooltip. Tooltip is what? When you hover over the chart, it shows you some things, right? Subcategory sales it is showing. So this is my tooltip that when I hover, what information I want to see, that will be coming under tooltip. So if I click on tooltip, it is showing me subcategory. So this is how it is showing, right? Subcategory and then subcategory value sales, sum of sales. So by default, whatever you put, it comes there. So if you see category, subcategory chairs and sales is 328,449. I can again click here. I want to change, I can change anything, right? So let's say I want to say total sales. So it will just change it to total sales, right? If I hover this, you see total sales. And you can put whatever fields you want to see. You don't want to see something, you can just remove it, right? Again, it will show you all the values here, whatever you want to put it, right? So this is how this works. Again, you can change the font, right? Size, how it should be in middle or left or color, right? All those things you can do. Okay, so this is my tooltip. So label and tooltip are basically the text you want to see on top of the chart or when you hover over it. So this is mainly about label and tooltip. Now, these are very important, these three ones: size, color, detail. Now, if you see, there are 17 marks, right? Because there are 17 categories, subcategories. So if I go back here and sum of sales, and we don't have filters, I will remove filters. Group by subcategory. So how many rows we have? We have 17 rows, and that's why it is showing me 17 marks, right? Now, let's say what we were doing for each of this subcategory, I want to see what is the sales in different regions, right? So what I will do, I will bring it here. That is one option. So now what is happening? Within each subcategory, it is showing me region as well. So east, west, right? Whatever regions are there. So let me go here and tooltip, and I will add a reason as well. So we can add reason. So if you hover, it will show different reason. So within each subcategory, so this is my subcategory accessories. Within that, I have different region: west region, south region, east region, and central region. But if you see, this chart doesn't look so good because there are so many data points. There are 68 data points, right? So if I take region as well here, you see there are 68 rows, but it doesn't look so good. What I can do, instead of create a separate bars for each of the region, I can just put it on the color, right? So now for each of the region, I have different color, and each bar is divided into 4 colors for each of the region, right? Isn't it? Let me remove the label. It doesn't look good here. So I will just remove it. Or what I can do, I can just remove from here sum of sales. So this is my label, right? Yeah. So now if you see, it is giving me different sales, right? Isn't it? For each region, it created a different sales. Let me put it back, right? Still, if you see, there are 68 marks because still there are 68 data points only, right? Even though the number of rows you see here is less, right? Number of columns, but still we have 68 data points because Tableau still has to do this. Subcategory region sum of sales. It is just the representation is different, right? So whenever you add a field to the color, you basically adding the field to the group by as well. Okay, so whenever you add a field to the color, you are adding it to the group by as well. Okay, if I put subcategory, if I take out subcategory, it is on the full data, right? So it is just doing a group by on region and giving you sales. Instead of multiple bars, it is just showing in one bar there are 4 different colors. Okay, so let me put category here instead of subcategory. Okay, so this look much better, and in fact there are multiple ways of showing your data. It is a standard view. You can do fixed width, so it will show you on full chart. Okay, so let's use this to understand full width, fit width, sorry. Okay, you can do fit height. It will just fit height, or you can do entire view. Okay, you can explore it later. Let me go with the entire view for now. Okay, so if you see, for each of the region we have sales now. So remember this, whenever you are adding something to the color, you are basically adding to the group by. So in this case, we have category and subcategory region. So I will just take this. So we have 12 data points, right? All the combination of category and region, and we have 12 marks here. Okay, now let's say I just change it to size. Instead of color, I will change it to size. So you can change from here also that you want this as label, size, detail, tooltip. Okay, so I will change it to size now. So when I change it to size, each of this bar is as per the size, right? So if the sales is less, the size of the bar will be lower, the width is less, or if it is more, it will be more. So instead of color, I divided it by size. Still, you have 12 marks, which means when you add a dimension to a size, then also you are adding something to group by. Okay, so as soon as you add it, your data points are going to increase because you are doing a group by. Okay, you can change it to detail as well. So if I change it to detail, there are no separate colors or something. It is just that you have a logically separate bars, right? So you are adding to the detail. So when you add to the detail, then also you are adding it to the group by. I think I have covered a lot. So any doubts so far, guys? I will wait for 2 minutes.
Is it possible to have both color and size at the same time?
Yeah, we can have both. So I can add one more, let's say, some field, ship mode. Okay. I will add ship mode to color. Right. So there are 48 marks now. So basically all these three fields are, so if you see within West region, there are different ship modes. So let me take ship mode to tooltip. Okay. So if you see ship mode to, wait, I'll go to tooltip and add ship mode here. Ship mode. If you see, we have ship mode also, standard class, right? So different standard class, it is there. Why it is showing some error? Subcategory. Okay, I change it to category, right? That's why it is giving me error. So I will take category and insert sum of sales. No, sorry, category. Okay, so if you see category furniture, total sales, season, and standard class. We go here, put ship mode. Okay, so basically what is happening? We are adding ship mode as well here. So if you see how many rows are there? 48 rows. So we have 48 marks. So there are 48 data points basically for different region ship mode.
Ankit, why we have some of the blanks columns here?
No, it is not blank basically. So it doesn't have so much space to show everything.
We have only the sum of the sales like 40,000 in the upper, and it's just due to the space the numbers are not displayed.
Right, right. So if you hover, it is displaying, right? 29,401.
So is it a way? Is it any of a way like I don't want the whole number like 40,019? I'm just only my requirement is 40K, 44K, 54K. So is it possible here?
I think you can go to format. Let me try this. So I'll just go to format and numbers. Let's say, not sure, we'll have to check, but there should be some way of showing it. Okay, we'll find it out, but there should be some way.
Okay.
Okay, there are other ways also I will show you, but there should be a simpler way of doing it. We'll see later. Okay. So this is mainly because of space constraint, right? It is not showing everything. I do fit height, still it is not showing. Yeah. Yeah. But you have the data, right? Because if you hover over it, it is showing you.
Like my concern is like for the presentation perspective, if I go for the presentation of for this data, so
So
it doesn't look like a good that I need to move the cursor again and again to the every cell.
yeah, so what happens when you share with others, you have to publish it to the Tableau server basically. And there you will see everything. It is just in your desktop, it is not visible, but when you publish it to the server and you will share it to the other people, it will be visible. Okay, I'll show you how to publish it to the server. So if you want to share it with someone else, you won't be sharing your desktop, right? This TWBX file generally, because not everyone will have desktop in their system. So you need Tableau desktop to open this and see, right? So you can have Tableau. We have Tableau server basically where we can publish it in the browser on the Tableau server, and we can give that link to the person who we want to share, and they can see the view there. It will be big browser, so it will be everything will be visible. Okay. Okay. So we were talking about these marks. So we saw color, size, label, detail, and tooltip. Okay. Now what's next? Now let's take some other date field. We have been playing with category field, which is a string field. Let's take a date field. So I'll just remove everything for now. Reason, ship mode, and we have simple sum of things. Now instead of category, I just remove category, and I'm going to put order date. Okay, so I'll just drag and drop order date. So if you see, order date is a date field Tableau has identified. So by default, what it did, it converted into a year. So by default, it is taking year of order date and give you the sales, right? 2018, 19, 20, 21. This is equivalent to what? It is equivalent to date part, year, order date as year order date, and group by this one, right? Basically, that is what Tableau is doing, the backend, right? 2021, 2018, 484247, 484247, right? So by default, it is converted into year, and this is, you see plus sign, it means it is a hierarchy. So you can go into month, week. So if I click on plus, it is converted into quarter. So year and quarter. You see, for each year and quarter, we have the sales. You can further drill down, it will give you month as well. So for each year, quarter, and different months. Okay, you want to come back, you can come back. Okay, another way is you can just click here and it will show you the different formats. So currently it is year, just year, right? So it is showing you year. What you can do, you can say I want month wise. So you can just click here. So it will show you month. So for each month you have the sales, right? On the tooltip, again, reason and ship mode, it is not there because that is not there in the view. I will go to the tooltip. I'll just remove this. And we'll put order date. And we can take month of order date. Okay, so it is start showing you that it is January 2018, February 2018, March. So it is month wise you are seeing now, right? If you want to see quarter wise, you can just change it to quarter wise, right? Then week number is also there if you want to track by a week, right? So you have all the options to change it how you want it to look, right? You can put the exact date also. Okay. Also, there are two things. If you see here, it is like exact year, quarter. So if I click on quarter, what is happening? If you see Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, there are only 4 data points, which means it is just aggregating on quarter. So it is quarter one sales of all the years, right? So that is the difference between this area and this area. So this here, the area is just year, quarter, month, day, right? So if I click on month, there will be only 12 data points, right? So basically it is saying just give me month, right? And sum of sales. This is what it is doing. But if you want year along with that, then you will have to add year as well, right? So you will have to do this. Okay, so now you have how many? 48 rows, right? So if you want to achieve this, you will have to say, give me year month wise. You can click here. It is giving you year month wise. Okay, I hope it is clear. Also, if you see, whenever I choose the order date or date type of field, it is by default creating line chart, right? So for any time series columns, it is better to use line chart so that you can see the pattern as the time moving, how much your sales is going up, down. Okay, you can always convert it to bar chart, but it is not so good, right? If you see, line chart was looking better, right? You can see how it goes down. Okay, also you can undo it. So I just pressed Ctrl Z 2 times. So we came here, or there is this option of undo or redo here. If I click on redo, it will do redo. Again, I can do undo. Okay. So these are the different options. Now again, if you want to put a color on something, let's say reason, you can put it, and there will be separate lines, separate line chart for each of the region. I'll just change it to let's say year. Okay, and for every year, if you see, there is a separate line chart. So for each of the different regions, I have a separate line chart. So there are 4 regions, so we have 4 line chart, and here it is described that which one is which one as per the color. Okay, again I can go to tooltip and add region. Now it is start showing me region as well when I hover over it. Okay, so it is very important to understand how this color size detail works. Okay, very important. Okay, now you can explore all the charts. There are many charts here, you know, tree maps, heat maps, Kent view, you know, box and whisker plots. You have pie charts, different kinds of charts. If I click on pie chart, it will just convert it to pie chart, right? So for every year, for every region, we have a different sales, right? I can change it to some other chart, this chart, right? This is again stacked bar chart. Basically, region I put in color, right? So bunch of options are there based on what data you have. Tableau will suggest you the best one, but you can always change it as per your requirement. There is no hard and fast rule that you should use that one only. You can use any chart. Okay. Now let's say I want to create a new column. Okay, so in SQL, like, it is simple, right? If I have to create a new column, I'll just say select. So let me use this one. We are using this chart, right? Yeah. So let's say I want to create a new column, and new column is like, let's say ratio. I want to create profit divided by sales, right? So I will say profit divided by sales as ratio. Like, this is how I create a simple column in SQL. Similarly, you can go here, analysis, and say create calculated field. Okay, if you do that, you can do ratio, and you can say, or let's say I want to create from, let's say, something else, some meaningful thing. Select star from let me combine, corporate, this segment and ship mode. Okay, so I'll say segment and ship mode. Segment, I can give any name. I can say segment. If I type, it will show me, and then I can just concatenate ship mode. Okay, so I'm just concatenating 2 strings. Okay, it will start showing you here, right? After all the by default columns, on the in the last, it will start showing you the calculated column, and it will be like equal to. If you see, there is a equal to sign before the data type, it means it is a calculated column, right? And because it is a dimension, it is showing in the dimension section. If you create a new measure, it will show you here in the measure section. So you have the segment chip mode, and I can use it now. Just remove this. So if you see, we have all the customer first class, consumer first class, consumer same day. So I calculated a new column, which is a combination of segment and chip mode, and it is giving me, and then I'm using it as dimension, right? Now, there are many options to create calculated field, right? So if we click here, you see all the functions. So almost all the functions that you use in SQL, we have them here as well. Date part, float, ltrim, right? So we have most of the functions. So if I just shoot date part, so we use date part, right? In SQL, same function is here available, and it shows you how to use it as well, right? Date part, what date part you want. I can double click and say I want year, right? Though we have the options of directly choosing that, but we can always create a new column as well. So it's like year of order date. And I think you have to give it in single quotes. Okay. And okay. Just move it. And we'll take year of order date here. Okay, now if you see, now this is important. If you see year of order date, it is identifying as a measure, right? It is a calculated column equal to, but because it is returning a integer data type, it is thinking that it is a measure, right? But it is not true, because I don't want to sum year. It makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. So in this kind of scenario, you can just click here and say convert it to dimension. So it will start showing a new dimension, and when you take here, it will work as a dimension. It will not aggregate it. So 2018, 19, 20, 21. Okay. So if your return data type is integer or a number, it will be always considered as a measure, and that will be a problem. So you can always click here and change it to dimension or measure. Similarly, if it is a dimension, you want to make it as measure, you can say convert to measure. So it will be converted into measure. Okay. So I converted to dimension, and when I drag and drop, we don't see anything aggregation or something. Okay, so in calculation, you can do a lot of things. Now here we are seeing sum of sales, right? Let me just what I will do, instead of sum of sales, if you go here, it is showing you a bunch of options. Okay. Also, if you see, it is showing you quick table calculation. Okay. So you can even do a quick table calculation directly from here. So if you want to see running total, difference, percentage difference, percentage of total, it will start showing you. Okay. So let me use a let me do one thing. I will convert into a line chart. It is not showing because it is not identifying it as a date. So if I convert it into date, what will happen? It is a line chart now. Okay. Now, if I convert it into, instead of sum of sales, I will say running total. Okay. So you see, it is giving me a running total. Okay. I will change this also to running total. What we see here on the tooltip, on the label basically. Okay. So now what is happening? This is the sales of 2018, right? Then it is a running sum here. So 2019 is sales of 2018 and 19. Then here 19, 18, 19, 20. So this is like a running sum, right? Let me use order date itself. Okay. So now what is this basically? If I have to achieve this in SQL, how I will do?
Those between unbounded preceding and current row.
Okay, correct. Any other way?
Order by.
Yeah, we can just simply use order by as well. So what we will do, so first what we have to do, we have to aggregate data on year order date, right? Then only I will be able to do running sum. So let me remove this from orders group by this, right? Select from here. So I will say year of order date, right? Comma, sum of sales. Sum of sales, right? Over order by year of order date ascending, right? By default is as running sum, right? From here group by year of order date. Or year order group by is not required. It is just I'm doing a window sum, right? So that is it. So what it will do, it will first run this statement and give me year-wise sales, right? And then it is giving me. Let me take sales also. So yeah, and then it is giving me the running sum. So this is my running sum. This is 48, then 48 plus 47, 95, 95 plus 60, 156, and 229, right? And on top of this, I'm putting reason as well, right? So if I remove reason for now, and if you see 484247, 484247, 954780, 954780, right? So this is a running sum. So in SQL, you have to do all this to get the running sum. Here, you can just click here, quick table calculation and running total. That's it, right? You can get percentage of total as well. So percentage of total is basically what is the percentage of total sales. So what is the sales you did in 2018 divided by total sales? What sales you did in 2019 divided by total sales? But if you see here, it is still showing numbers because whatever is there on the label, I have not changed, right? So I'll just go here, quick table calculation, percentage of total. So now it is showing me that this is 21%, 20%, 27%, 32%. Okay. Again, you can go to format and change it to percentage. So it starts showing you percentage, right? If you don't want to show decimal places, you can just remove decimal places. 0. Right? So it is showing you percentage of total. So out of all the sales you did, if you did 100, total 100 sales in 4 years together, then 21 is in 2018, 20 in 2019, 27 in 2022, and 32 in 2021. Okay, so there are multiple quick table calculations. You can do anything, right? Percentage, rank, percentage difference from previous compounded growth, year over year. You can see year over year growth also, right? In SQL, I have to do lead, lag, and do all that thing. But here you can just directly click on year over year growth. So it is giving you year over year growth. Here it is nothing is there because there is no previous year. So this year the sales is decreased by 3%, then increased by 29%, then increased by 20%, right? So it becomes, some things become very easy in Tableau. Just, I'm not comparing. SQL is for different use, Tableau is for different use, but I'm just telling that some things are easy to do in Tableau and some things are easy in SQL, but they have a different use cases, right? Okay. Now let me go back to the yeah, go ahead.
How do we sort the values? Like, if you have to sort this in descending order from 2120.
Okay, so you have this sort year of order date ascending, right? You can sort it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is sorting by year basically, right? So it is like smallest number first, then this, then this, then this. No, it is by year over year growth. Sorry, it is by year over year growth only. isn't it?
Yeah. So if you want to sort it by dimension or sort it by measure, like both options we have.
Yeah, we have all the options. I'll show you. So if you click here and you can do sort, okay, and then you can choose ascending or descending, okay, and you can even do a manual sort. Similarly, you can click here and do a sort option is not there, I think, right? So I think we will have to sort only on this, isn't it?
I think there we will have option of sorting by measure also.
Okay,
Should.
field and then sales all sales. Okay, here I can again say what kind of sales? Sum of sales. It is just giving me option of sum of sales only, right? But it is not giving me option of like year over year growth.
Okay.
Okay, we can explore that later. That's fine.
Yeah.
But we have this sorting option. Okay. Also, if you want to clear the canvas, there is this option, clear sheet. So if I click on here, everything will go. I'll just do Control Z. Okay. Now, if I go back to the data source, okay. Now I showed you how to connect to Excel, right? So now if you want more data source in your system, right? This is one data source, right? So sheet 1 you want to create on one data source, and sheet 2 you have some other data source, some other Excel or maybe some other database, right? So it is not necessary you have to create separate Tableau workbook itself, right? So you can create multiple data source. So I will just click here. If you see, this is my this data source. I will click on new data source. Okay, this time I will connect to SQL Server. SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. I will click here and it is showing me, for me it is showing the server because I have connected earlier as well. So it is showing me server. So if you go here in your SQL Server, it is showing you this is your server, right? If I right click properties, you can just copy paste it. This thing. This is your server name, right? Do cancel. And you just provide it, and this is our window authentication, right? We don't give any username password and just sign in. Okay, so it starts showing you database. Okay, so if you see, you have two data sources now. One is this orders Excel one, and this is the SQL Server, and you can just rename it also server. Okay, and then it will show you databases. So we have all these databases as master, Namaste SQL. So I click on Namaste SQL and it shows me all the tables again. So I can just search or just click on any table. So I will just search orders and then drag and drop, and it is like it will be now all the data will be there. Again, you have live and extract option. I will do extract. If you update it, it just starts showing you data. Okay, so this is the only difference. Once we move to the sheet, everything is same. Okay, so let me go to the sheet now. So now if you see, if I click on sheet, it is showing me that which data source I'm using. I'm using orders sample superstore, right? I'm not using this one, right? So it is showing me this. The green check you are seeing, it means this data source is used in this view. I go to sheet 2, again by default it is showing this. I can just click here and it will start showing all the columns of SQL Server, this that we are reading from the SQL Server. And again I can create charts here, right? So I can just say category and sum of sales, right? So it is as simple as that. So you can connect to any data source and start working on it. Okay. Also in Tableau, you can create hierarchy. So by default, date hierarchy was there, right? We saw year, month, but you can do custom. So for example, here it's created automatically by looking at the data, but you can manually also create. So let's say I want to create a hierarchy of category and subcategory. So I will just click both of them and say hierarchy, right? Create hierarchy. So hierarchy name. So let's say category hierarchy. I will say product hierarchy. Product. I can give it any name as such. Okay, so if you see, a product hierarchy is created and we have category and subcategory. Now if I drag and drop this one, I'll just remove this everything. Product hierarchy, it starts showing as a date column, right? In date column we had hierarchy, year, month. Here also we have category. I can just drill down to subcategory, right? So I can have multiple columns in my hierarchy. I can add category, subcategory, and then product also. So if I say product, I can just drag and take here. So in my product hierarchy, product name is also there. I can just drag it to product name now. Okay, so you can just do hierarchy as well here. Okay, so let me just do Control Z, go to our, okay. Okay, so this is how I can create a database. I can connect to Excel or whatever, and I can create different data sources, and then I can use different data sources in different sheets. Okay, also the sheet name, if you see, you can double click and change, right? Or by default what happens, it is sheet name, so whatever you give will come here. So I will say sales pattern, year wise sales, right? If you see, this will change, or you can double click and change also. And it is category wise sales, right? So this is my year wise sales, this is my category wise sales. This is year over year growth actually. So let's put it YOY growth, right? And this is category wise sales. Now this is my sheet, and I can create as many sheets I want. I just click here, I can create as many sheets. There is no limitation. So you can create number of views using same source or different data source, doesn't matter, right? And you can just delete also if you want to delete. Or sometimes what happens, you just want to hide, you can just click here and say hide. There will be hide options once you create it. Okay, I'll just remove it for now, delete. Okay, now the second option you see is dashboard. Okay, so you click here, it is a new worksheet. If you click here, it is a new dashboard. Now when you go to the dashboard, it will start showing you all the sheet what you have created. So we created two sheets, right? YOY growth, category wise sales. So if you see, I can just drag this sheet here and drag this sheet. So in the dashboard, you can put multiple views together. Okay, so you can have 10 views or how many views you want, and you can add more and more views to this dashboard, and you can present it to the business or anyone, right? You can create a story out of it. You can put different matrices in one chart and you can start showing it, right? So let me create one more. Remove this side and let's take shape mode, and let me take some other chart this time. So we'll use okay, so I will use order date, and let's say vision and sales. Okay, and let's take one more segment. Is required one date. Date we have taken. I want to create this one. Two measures it requires. Okay. Profit. Okay, so this is some chart is coming, right? So this is my segment, let's say segment profit sales. Okay, now this will start coming here. I can just drag on the down right here, right? So there are three charts now, or what I can do, I can just put it parallel. I can put here as well. Okay, or I can just drag it and put down. Okay, so you can just drag and drop and put them. Okay, we want to remove, you can just remove it again. Okay, now apart from this, Also, what you can do is you can add filters, right? So if I go, so whatever filters are there, we don't have any filters here, right? If I had the filter, it will start showing you in the dashboard. But even if you don't have, you can go here and say filters, okay? And you can add a filter. So let's say, let me go back and put a filter of segment, okay? All, okay, and show filter. It will start showing you filter here. And if I go to dashboard, I'll go to filter, segment, okay? If you see, this segment filter is coming here now, right? So if I change it, the values will change, right? The year is changing as per the segment I select here, right? If I choose 2 according to that. But if you see, this value is not changing, right? Because this filter is applied only on YOY growth. So only this one is changing. If you want that this filter should be applied to all the views in this dashboard, so there is this option. Click here, apply to worksheets. So you can choose on which worksheet this filter should apply, okay? You can just say all using this data source, or you can say selected worksheets. So if I do select, so this is there by default because the filter is present in this view. I can say that apply this filter here as well on this view, category wise sales. If I click here and change the filter now, see, this is also changing, right? So you can change the behavior of the filter as well. Are we good? And again, you can add multiple filters and you can add a filter for this as well. And you can say that apply filter on particular worksheets. You can always apply on particular worksheet or all the worksheets or only the one where the filter is available. So you can always change that. Okay. So this is how you can create. There are a lot of other options in Tableau. Okay. If you want to do a full course, I can suggest some good courses. There are a lot of features, but this is the basic. If you want to start, you can start with Tableau now. You can take any course. You will understand it easily because you understand SQL. Tableau becomes a cakewalk, very easy to understand. Okay. Now let's say you created this, all of this. Okay. Now you go to Tableau public. So there's this Tableau public, public.tableau.com. Okay. You can create your profile and sign in here. So let me sign in here. Okay, so I have signed in here. So if I go to my profile, it will start showing me whatever visuals I have created. So these are the visuals I have created. Okay, so now I can just go here and share with anyone. So for example, if you want to share on let's say LinkedIn, or you want to share it with some other person, you can just click here and this share option is coming, right? So this is the link. If you give this link to anyone, so this is a Tableau public, right? Anyone can access it through this link. Okay, so if you want to create some portfolio visuals and all, you can just create here and put it in your resume or put your profile link. So but how it will come here? So once you created this, you will go to server, okay, publish workbook. Okay, so this is option of publish workbook. Okay, or there is this option of Tableau public also, that save to Tableau public. So if I click here, it will ask me to sign in, and I will again just put my credentials. And it is asking with what name you want to publish it. You can change it also. Okay, I'll keep it Tableau. It is showing me other these are the 3 widgets I have, right? It is showing that also if I want to overwrite, but I will just save with the new one. If I go here now and go to my profile, there are 4 visuals now, and Namaste SQL is also there. Why it is not showing? This Namaste SQL is posted here, right? And I go to my profile. So it is also there now. So we have all the pages, right? So you can simply create it and publish it here. So it starts showing your dashboard here. It is a very good way to build some good visuals, and if you want to show it on LinkedIn or you want to show it to your employer, you can put it in resume. It adds value. Okay. And there are a lot of competition going on Tableau, right? You can participate and put it, and you will get good visibility. Okay. Any doubts so far? Whatever we have covered? Anyone? Is it looking good, Tableau?
Yes, it look like the Excel in Excel we are preparing the pie charts and the bar charts. It's look like the similar.
Yeah,
to the
feel
Excel.
is similar, but there are a lot of options here actually. More than Excel, actually, you will get a lot of options, and it is easy. In Excel, it is not so easy to create charts, right?
Yes, we need to select manually a lot of things.
Right. So here it is simple drag and drop. So it is meant just for the visuals, right? In Excel, you can do a lot of other things, tables and all, but it is just for creating visuals and do analysis. So it is very powerful. And another main thing is it can handle large data. In Excel, if you have 1 million, 2 million rows, it becomes very, very slow. And it has a limit also of 1 million records, right? But in Tableau, there is no limit as such. You can
Okay.
import large data and do analysis.
Ankit, what's your comments on Microsoft Power BI versus Tableau?
So Power BI is also good actually. So the thing
Okay.
is, Power BI is, the license is very cheap compared to Tableau. So in the
Okay, but-
markets, there is a lot of demand for Power BI as well.
Okay, when it comes to the job opportunities, it's a combination of Tableau with SQL or combination of Power BI with SQL
Right,
will have an
exactly.
edge.
Right, right. So you can learn anything, Tableau plus SQL or Power BI plus SQL. Power BI will look like exactly like Excel only because it is a Microsoft, right? And they have built on top of, I think, Excel kind of feel you will get if you work on Power BI. I have not worked much,
Okay.
but if you have worked on Excel, it will be easy in Power BI. Yeah, but Tableau also is easy. There is nothing much as such. It is easy. If you would have seen today, right? So easily we created charts,
Yes. Correct.
right? So you can learn any tool, Power BI or Tableau. Both have good demand in the market.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that is it. This is the basic things of the Tableau. There are a lot of advanced options, things that you can always learn. But this will give you a good start if you want to pursue further Tableau. You can go the free videos on Tableau. Those are also good. If you go to Tableau website, like I was showing you on the data source pane initially when it shows, so there are a lot of options, a lot of videos. So they are starting from scratch and all the videos are there. You can just go to Tableau website and see all the free videos, or you can take some Udemy course or something which covers Tableau advanced things. That also you can do 400, 500. You will get a good Tableau course on Udemy and you can just finish it. And it is easy to create portfolio. You can just publish on the Tableau public profile, 5-6 dashboards, and just you can attach it to the resume. That's it.
But in Amazon and all, whether they use Tableau or Power BI, just for a curiosity.
So in Amazon, we use Tableau and QuickSight. We don't use Power BI.
Okay.
So QuickSight is also there, right? as part of AWS services. That is purely on cloud, on browser. There is no desktop for that. You can directly go to the browser, connect to your data sources, create visuals, and publish there only. There's no publish. You can directly save there on the browser. There's no desktop application for QuickSight like we have for Tableau or Power BI.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's directly from AWS services. You can open QuickSight and build your visuals. Yeah, so we use Tableau and QuickSight.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Did you guys just start working on the case study that I uploaded project or not yet?
Started. Ankit.
Okay, I'll try to add one more. I'm just trying to prepare some good project which have multiple tables and all, and I will put it. So you will have 2 portfolio projects. You can put it on GitHub. And if you want to learn Tableau or Power BI, you can create some portfolio for that. And once you put them in resume, what else? You can start applying for data analyst jobs.
Ankit, can you quickly, like at some point, like at one of the session, quickly describe how to publish in GitHub and how to use that for multiple projects?
GitHub. I can give you some good video links. I have not worked much on GitHub, to be honest. But I can provide you some reference so that you can follow along. But it is simple. It is like go to GitHub and create a branch and start putting your content, folders and
Okay.
all.
All right.
I'll share the link.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, then let's see. I'll post in the group if we are ready to do project discussion on this Friday or people want it later. Not sure. If nothing, then I was thinking of doing it on this Friday itself. So tomorrow we don't have class anyway. So let's see. Maybe next class will be on Friday itself. Once people are ready with the projects, I want everyone to attempt it before I do the discussion. So I'll update in the Telegram group. Okay, for now it is scheduled for Friday. If I have to change, I will change it.
Ankit,
Yeah.
in future, are you planning on any courses on data engineering side?
So I may start on the Python for data engineering. Okay. But it might take some time.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm preparing the content and everything, but it will take some time. Yeah.
Ankit, Santosh here.
Yeah, Santosh.
Just want to know how essential is Python for the data analyst role?
So see, Python, you may get job without Python as well, but in the long term, I will suggest you learn Python. Okay, because Python is not just for data analysis. For data analysis, you have Power BI and Tableau and all those things. But for automation, Python is important. Okay. Also, in Python, you can, let's say you are working on SQL. So you are working on SQL Server or some database. Let's say you have different data sources. Okay. And you want to merge them and do some analysis, right? So in Python, you can connect to anywhere. You can do web scraping, right? You can connect to files, you can connect to databases, you can connect to cloud, S3, anywhere, so your data can be anywhere. And let's say you have to integrate data from different data sources. So Python becomes very powerful. You can connect to anywhere, bring that data, join that data together. So I would suggest learn Python, not initially, but for long term, I will say start learning Python. So in Python also, you have to learn basics first, the basics of programming in Python, data types and how to run for loops, what are the different data structures like list, dictionary, right? That basic, once you cover, then you have some important libraries like the NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. So those important libraries, if you learn, that is good enough. You don't need to master, but you should know basic. Basically, if you want to do something on Python, you should be able to do
Okay.
it. That's it. You don't have to master it. Okay. And the community is very good.
Okay. Okay.
Big
Thank you.
community. Yeah, Python community is big.
Yeah.
So if you put on Google any doubt, you will have the answer on Stack Overflow or somewhere. So if anywhere you are stuck, you can always Google and you will get the answer. But you should know the basics so that you can, code and Google.
Okay.
But Python is very, very important looking into the future because it is a general purpose language.
Would you be able to reference any doc?
Okay, I'll check. But there is one good course actually in Udemy if you want to take it. Let's see. Python 0 to Hero, something is there, I think. Python 0 Hero. So if you click here, yeah, this one by Jose. Yeah, this is a good course. Currently it is costly, I think, but whenever sale is there, you will get it in within 1,000 rupees and you can take it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Ankit.
Yeah, this is a good course. It covers most of the things.
One question, Ankit. Ankit, I have
I'll
not
look into
checked.
that, Ankit. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ankit, I have not checked about the projects you have uploaded. I need to check on the same portal, na Namaste.
Yeah. Right. Same portal, you have a project section.
Okay, I will check it today. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have uploaded one. I will upload one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. We'll in the next class we will discuss the projects. Okay. And if you have any doubts or anything, we can discuss in the next class. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.